yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Oh, yeah, we love ODR season.
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Mr. Roberto, and it's official. The World Junior Final is set. And let's tell you how we got there, as our second semifinal between Finland and the Americans just ended. And this one did not start the way many thought it would, as the Americans fell behind less than 2 minutes into the game.
It plays for Carl, University of Denver. Now that's stolen back in front of Denise to a shot at the goal post. Rebound, loose in front, they score! Oiva Keskinen pokes it home, and the Finns have taken the early lead.
And the frustration building for the U.S. in the first. Ryan Leonard's shot is deflected out of play, and he reacts by breaking his stick over his knee. Shades of Bo Jackson. And later in the first, it gets worse for the U.S.
Plays it back down to Bao. Samu Bao. Back for Karki. Shoots, tipped in front, they score! Kumpalainen gets a stick on it, and the Finns have taken a 2-0 lead.
The second period was all USA. Just as there 8 to go in the period, Americans on the power play.
Smith plays that back. Now teed up, Snuggerud scores! What a rocket from Jimmy Snuggerud, and the U.S. on the board with a power play goal.
And a few minutes later, it's Will Smith who fires it into the open cage, as the Americans come back from 2 down to tie things up at 2. To the third, about 5 minutes to go, game still tied at 2, and a controversial penalty called on Finland. And I'm just going to say, kind of soft penalty to call at that point in the game, but all right. And the Americans took advantage on the power play.
By Kangas, centers it, takes a return pass, and drops that back to Hudson. Sergachev has a look and shoots, scores! Sergachev fires it home, a power play goal gives Team USA a 3-2 lead.
The Americans battle back from a 2-goal deficit and knock off Finland, and punch their ticket for the gold medal game. But who will they face in the final? We'll let you know later in the show. The Winnipeg Jets are looking for their 4th win in a row tonight when they take on the Sharks. And don't tell Jesse this, but the Jets might be one of the best stories in the NHL right now. After being eliminated in the first round by Vegas in 5 games, and spending the summer thinking they were going to lose Scheifele and Hellebuck, the Jets were able to sign them both before the season started and run it back, which left people wondering what this team would actually be. Well, now they sit 2nd place in the Central, but by points percentage, they're actually 1st in the whole Western Conference. It feels like everything is going right in Winnipeg. Hellebuck is allowing a career-low 2.34 goals against. The team's D is scoring the 2nd most in the league, and they're doing a lot of this without sniper Kyle Connor, who has been out since December 11th. And they haven't slowed down at all in his absence. And actually, since December 1st, you could say the Jets are the best team in hockey. They're 11-1-2, have amassed the most points in the NHL in that span, and have allowed the least goals per game in that time. The thing is, I don't really like saying anything mean about the Jets because I don't know if you guys know this, but the worst fans in my DMs aren't Edmonton Oilers fans. They're Jets fans, okay? So I don't really like upsetting them. They get really mean. But they could also just be Jesse's burners. So I don't, maybe I do want to be mean? No, you know what? It's fine. I'm happy for you. Good for you. Interestingly enough, they haven't lost in regulation since December 12th. And that loss came against none other than the San Jose Sharks. The team, they're also playing tonight. And also the worst team in hockey. So not only are the Jets looking to stay hot tonight, but they're looking to avenge a loss against the biggest bottom feeder in the standings. Okay, so we know the team is on an absolute tear, and he may be a continent away covering the juniors, but Jesse, please tell us how good this Jets team is and why they aren't getting the credit they deserve.
What's up, Risser? I'm actually underneath the rink right now in like a changing room area. There we are. Because this is like the only quiet place I could go to. But look, the Jets are an absolute wagon. What else is there to say? They're a Stanley Cup contender. There's no question. And it's just the reason why no one's giving them enough credit is because there's not really that many all-star players on the team, which is why the Jets run is all the more amazing. And Hellebuck has been unbelievable. Like, what else is there to say about this guy? Look at this guy's stats throughout December leading into January. This is the best goalie on the planet, and he can take this team as far as he wants to. So I think the Jets are legit Stanley Cup contenders. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, and I've been jealous of Hellebuck from time. Like, I wish the Leafs had him. Unfortunately, here we sit. And those of you in the Jets region can watch the Jets and Sharks tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 9 Central. To soccer, and we got some big news today, as Canadian Tajon Buchanan has officially signed with Serie A club Inter Milan. Buchanan was sold by Club Bruges from Belgium to the Italian league leaders for a reported €7 million. Now joined by our guy Matthew Shinetti. And Shooter, how did this go down and why did he choose Inter?
Marissa, Inter were interested in Tajon Buchanan for about the last 15 months, and had they made roster moves last summer, he would be playing for them right now. And even though other teams were interested, Buchanan always wanted to play for one of the top teams in one of the top 5 leagues in Europe, and he's going to get a chance to impress right away because Inter do have injuries, and Buchanan is incredibly versatile. He can play on either side of the field, and it's incredible to think that back in 2019, he was a top 10 pick in the MLS Super Draft, went to Belgium, won a league title, started in the UEFA Champions League last year, and today he's a part of the biggest transfer a Canadian man has made since Alphonso Davies moved to Bayern Munich in 2019.
Shooter, a pleasure as always.
Thanks, Marissa.
Our second semi of the day went down this morning, as Czechia, fresh off their upset of Canada in the quarters, was taking on host Sweden. And this is a pretty fun back and forth game. Let's pick this one up in the third game, tied at 2. Sweden on the power play.
Sandin Pelika plays it across the car back. He shoots, scores! And that took 17 seconds on the power play for Sweden to take the lead back.
The home crowd absolutely loving it as the Swedes go up 3-2. The 15th overall pick for the Canucks in 2022 now has a goal in 3 straight games and has a point in every game this tournament for Sweden. Still the third when the home team strikes again.
Back and the rolling puck knocked away by Lindstein. Chance here for a lead pass. Ostlund into the breakaway. Noah Ostlund in, scores! Noah Ostlund gives the Swedes some insurance with 8 to go.
The hosts would add one more in the third to knock off Czechia 5-2 the final, as Sweden punched their ticket for the gold medal game. And they'll take on the Americans in the final. And you can watch the gold medal game of the World Juniors Friday on TSN. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Fresh off the first win in the very first PWHL game, we are now joined by fellow Canadian Jamie Bourbonnais. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're here. First off, you had a tremendous first outing against Toronto in the first PWHL game. But dang, do you feel bad at all getting an assist on Soupy and being so solid on D that some of your fellow Canadian teammates couldn't get anything past you? You have to feel a little bad, right?
Oh man, I mean, obviously it's tough playing against a lot of your friends, but I think we're also excited to just be playing finally in this league. And I think when we get on the ice, all the friendships go aside. I mean, I don't know if you saw the hit Emma Malte against me at the end of the game. She's one of my best friends, so we've laughed about it, but in the moment, you just kind of got to play the game, and there's friends on the other team, but in the game, they're your enemies.
You talk about the physicality, which was fantastic to watch. I love that some of you ladies are getting a little more physical out there. Did you feel it the second you were on the ice, like, okay, we're going to really get into this one here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the general consensus was that the reffing was amazing. A lot of times the reffing can be pretty inconsistent, and that, there's a gray area of what a penalty is for us because we are physical, even though there's no body checking. So that was awesome just to be able to play. We want to be physical, and I think that we really proved that we can be in that game.
So electric. I want to talk about the actual vibe of the building. It was a sold-out crowd, and Toronto has already sold out all of their games completely. What was the vibe like when you were there? Because there were so many young girls in the stands watching.
Yeah, I don't like all the signs. I was tearing up watching the ceremonial puck drop, looking around. Everybody just seemed so excited. There were so many signs that said "Dream come true" or "Thank you for paving the way," and that just made me feel so special. It just shows how much this league is meaning to the next generation, and it means a lot to us. So I can only imagine how it feels to those young girls watching us.
You played for Cornell University. I have to ask, are you an Office fan?
Big time.
Okay,
Yes, of course.
right.
And we're actually in Stamford, where there's an office episode, or the Stanford office is here. So it's pretty cool being here.
Okay, so do you like Andy's representation of the Big Red, or do you feel like it was over the top?
No, it's never too over the top. You got to put Cornell into every conversation. That's my motto, honestly.
Okay, so when we're talking game day fits, should you not be repping the Big Red every single time?
I should have, hey? I know, that was a missed opportunity for the first game. But no, I want to rep some teal. I think you got to see some teal coming out soon.
Looking forward to that. Thank you so much for doing this.
No problem. Thanks for having me. It was a blast.
I am just so over the moon about this league already, seeing all these sold out crowds, seeing everybody get so into it, even just watching on television. These games are electric, and I hope you're watching too. And don't worry, you'll see plenty more of PWHL stars on Digital Sportscentre as the season rolls on. That's all for today. We'll see you back tomorrow at 3 Eastern. No Pacific! Have a good one.